Welcome back to the Life Worth Thriving podcast, where we talk about all things health, wealth, and relationships. And today, I wanted to talk a little bit about mental health. And one of the things I think can help with mental health is when we talk about this fact that we are human beings, not human doings. And I know it's been said before, but really focusing in on that. Now, I will admit, I am an action taker. I am a doer. I've done a bunch of these personality tests where they figure out, where you lie and all these different things. And they determined that I was very task oriented. I love people, but I want to be associated with a task. So I get it. This idea of doing, right? I always want to be doing something. Even if I'm going to be spending time with you, I would rather spend time with you doing something, having some sort of a task. And what we really have to do is disconnect our self-worth from these things that we do, right? And so it could be on a day-to-day basis, right? What are my tasks? What am I doing actively today? Or sometimes it could be more existential in terms of what I do in the world, or what is my job? For example, a lot of times you go and you meet somebody, right? What's one of the first questions you ask them? Like, oh, what do you do? As if what they do for their job, for example, is all that really matters. And so we have such a just focus in the world today on what we do day to day, what we do for a job. And unfortunately, between, social media and just the access that people have to you on your phones, there's just an influx, so much of request for your time and request for your attention that there's always things that you could be doing or should be doing or meant to do but never got around to, and it just kind of piles up and piles up. How many people have unread messages? You look at people's phones, like, you have 560 unread text messages. You have 1,000 unread emails. You have, all of these things that people want you to do. And if we're not careful, we attach too much of our self-worth. We become too overwhelmed and overloaded with all of these things that we have to do. We are not human doings. We are human beings, and we're meant to be, and we're meant to be with each other. So I talk to my kids all the time about the idea of the difference between quantity and quality, specifically as we talk about time. If there was periods where I worked a lot more than I'm working now, and we really had to focus on the idea of, like, listen, I want to focus a lot more on the quality of time that we have together than just discussing the quantity of time that we have together. Yes, maybe I only have Friday nights available right now, right? So that's not a lot of quantity, but I'm damn well going to make sure that I can have the best quality time that I can with you. And that means just being. Not doing 15 other things at once, but actually just being present and being together. And it's so important for you to make sure that you are there to just be, sometimes with yourself. You just need some me time. We all need some me time where it's, focused on what my body needs at the moment. We should be with the people that we love, right? And to actually be with them, not just sitting next to each other, scrolling through TikTok and Instagram or whatever else it is that you're doing, but actually focused on being. So finding a way that we can disconnect, right? So as a father, right, you need to do things, right? I have to do things for the kids. I have to get their food together, right? I have to get them some lunch. But they need more from me than just a doer of, here is your lunch. They need me to be with them. And I'm going to challenge you to take a look, and that same truth is the same for the other positions that you have. So whether if you're a spouse, husband or a wife, yes, there's things that you wind up doing for each other, but don't forget to be with each other, right? And we have to disconnect ourselves from just seeing our worth in what we do, but who we are. It's a deeper level of connection. It's a deeper level of understanding of ourselves. And it can't happen if we're constantly distracted and bombarded with all of the tasks of what we can be doing. So I'm a big one for goals. Go out there, set some big, hairy, audacious goals, right? Go out and do the things that you need to do to get to where you want to be. Like, absolutely, you need to do those things. But don't forget to unplug and recognize that you're more than just what you do. There's a deepness into who you are. And don't lose that. And don't be so caught up in what you're doing that you're not sharing who you are, that others can't see who you are being. So that's my tip for you today in this health, wealth, and relationship podcast. Thanks for tuning in. And until next time, remember, you are worth thriving. Thriving is not about arriving. It's about enjoying the journey along the way.